Hey guys, welcome to OCD Machine. Today on the lift we have the BMW R1100 RT. And this is my bike. Haven't had an opportunity to work on it. I've been busy with customer bikes. But in any case, as technicians, the first thing we want to do is identify what the problem is. And that's usually done through a work order, and that's the customer complaint. Then what we want to do is verify the problem. The problem on this bike is there's no ABS at all, but if we have two issues actually. We have one, the braking issue is separate from the electrical issue. And what I mean by that is we don't have any lights on the dash which are trouble lights to let us know that the ABS is in fact functioning or that it's not functioning. So today we're going to address the electrical issue first. Okay, in verifying the complaint, we'll turn the key on here, and you can see that there's no lights letting you know that the ABS system is working or not working. So let's go ahead and take a look at the wiring schematic next. Looking at our wiring schematic in our Clymer manual, you can see our two ABS warning indicator lamps. Now these are what are not working on the bike. So if we follow it back here, the top indicator lamp receives power from the ignition switch when in the on position. If you follow it, it's a green wire, and it connects and provides energy to the ABS warning relay. Now, the ground side for the control of this relay is provided by this red wire with the dark trace, and that's turned on and off by the ABS control unit. And this again is what turns the ABS warning relay on and off, which effectively energizes this green wire with the yellow trace over here to the top ABS indicator lamp. Now the lower indicator lamp, this has its own power source from the ABS control unit. It's a white wire with a black trace and provides direct power to the lamp with no switches or relays or anything else. And you can see here both the lamps have their own ground. So what this is telling me in looking at this is, since there's two separate sides for each lamp, it's kind of making me wonder, could both the bulbs be burned out, or maybe they're not even there? Now I have seen that before where they try to remove the lamps to hide a fault with the ABS system or what have you. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and start just with one lamp at a time, and that's coming off the ignition switch here. So the first place we'll look, so let's check the ABS relay and see if we have power there. Okay, we're now inside the fuse panel here, and in here we have our fuses and our electrical relays. And if you look over here, this is your ABS warning relay right here. Now, if I turn the key to the on position, I don't know if the camera can pick this up, I can actually hear the relay clicking. And if I put my finger right on the top, it's this kind of blue one, I can feel it turning on and off. So I know that relay is in fact energizing. It's not locked open or locked closed, but it's actually turning on and off. So I'm comfortable at this point that the relay is working. But let's say that I wasn't sure. Let's say that I want to test that. Well, let me show you how to do that. Okay, so we'll pull the ABS warning relay. If you look on the side of these relays, there'll usually be a little diagram. And what that diagram does is it shows you the pins and how the inner workings of the relay are actually operating. So if you come over here, this is your control side. This receives power via the number 1 pin from the ignition switch. If you recall from the schematic, that's when it's in the on position. So the power comes up through here into the load device, and your ground side is on your number 2 pin. Now remember, the number 2 pin, or the ground, is controlled by the ABS control module. This in turn activates a switch, which is right up here, and that's what turns the lamp on and off. So you have power coming in from one side, and it activates the switch. Every time a ground on the control unit is completed, that flips the switch, providing energy up to your lamp on the dash. One thing I want to show you is you see the numbers of the pins, but how do you know which pin is which? Well, looking at your diagram, each pin is numbered on the side.
you can turn the pin over, and you won't be able to see this on camera, but there's little numbers for each pin, and that's how you know. So when we come back down here, put it in the relay, we can just simply turn it over, and it will give us an idea of where that pin is in the circuit. So let's go ahead and test it. So going back to the numbers here, you can see I know that pin number 1 and number 2 are my control side. So let's take a look and see which is which. I'm using a logic probe, and the reason I like to use a logic probe is because it's internal resistance. It's computer safe, and I don't want to damage the control module or any of the computer circuits on this bike. So if we put it in, you can see there's a ground side. Well, remember, it's only to receive power when the key is in the on position. So if I turn it on, there's our power side. Now, if I switch it over and I put it on the ABS control side, which is our ground, you can see that our light's showing that we have a ground, and that's indicated by the green LED, and it's flashing on and off. So we know that that side of the circuit is correct. So let's go ahead and go to the next side. So we now verified the control side of the relay. Now let's take a look at the other side of the relay. We know that when the control side is energized, it should provide power through a switch. So let's check that now. We take a look here, we have a ground. But remember, the key has to be in the on position. So with it on, we now have a red LED, we know we have power. That in turn will provide power through the relay to this opposite side, which has nothing, and it shouldn't have anything. So we now know that 3 of the 4 pins all have the proper power and have what they need. But the other side of the relay that turns on and off, we haven't checked it yet. So I'm going to show you how I do that. What I do is I use a piece of baling wire like this, and I just put it over the 1 pin, just like that. Put it on there nice and tight. And you can use anything. You can use any type of wire that's conductive that can carry a current. So I'll just clip that off like that, and then I'll take some electrical tape here to secure the side of the wire. Just like that. So, and again, this is just touching the 1 pin right here. You don't want to touch anything else because we don't want to short it out. Okay? So let's go ahead and put this back in. Just like that. Put it on. Turn the key to the on position. And using our test light here, or rather a logic probe, you can see that it is in fact turning on and off via the red light. So going back to our schematic, we see that we have our power from the ignition to our ABS relay. If we didn't have power at the relay, then we would have to backtrack and go back here and take a look and see where we have a fault or a break or an open, what have you, coming off the switch. But we do in fact have power to the relay. We verified that the relay was working and energizing. So therefore, it should go directly to the lamp. And I see that there's no other connections in the circuit, so I'm going to go directly to the lamp. Now, if we don't have power at the lamp, then I know that our problem is somewhere on the green wire with the yellow trace, as you can see here. So now I've lifted the dash, and you're not really going to be able to see up in there, but you can see some wiring, and it goes into the back of the dash there, and there's bulbs on those. So I'm going to try to reach up in there and expose it, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, if you can see here, I'm holding a socket, and sure enough there's no bulbs. I kind of suspected, I wasn't sure, but I didn't want to have to go all the way up into the front and do the dash and stuff. It's a little harder to get to, but in any case, you can see we have the right wiring. It's the green wire with the yellow trace and the brown, so there's no bulb. So let's see if we can pull that other one out, and there you can see there's no bulb in that one either, and it's the white wire with the black trace. So both the ABS lamps, somebody has bulged, so again, that's going to tell me there's probably some ABS warning problems. Okay guys, here's the little bulbs. They just have a wedge type connector, and you can see here they just push in. I've already put the one in, they just push into place, and now I'll go ahead and put the second one up here. Okay, now they're both in place. I'll reach up here and turn the key on. And there we have the dash lights. So as far as the trouble code with the ABS, that's on another video. Right now we're just taking care of the electrical portion. So let's go ahead and button this all back up. So now I have the lights put back in the dash. Let's go ahead and turn the ignition on. And you can see we have ABS lights. Now, although they're not flashing simultaneous, we know there's a problem in the ABS system. Nonetheless, we do have the electrical. We now have the indicator lights working. So that completes the repair on this. Okay guys, that completes the repair on this motorcycle for right now. So thank you for watching. For additional videos, go to my website at www.ocdmachine.com.